Hi, this is Pete with PI Reviews. We're going to review the 2021 Audi E-Tron Prestige model in Manhattan Gray. I'm going to walk around the car so you can see what it looks like from the outside. As you can see, it has charging ports on both sides. Only the left side actually has a high-speed DC charging port. The right side is only a level 2 or level 1 port. As you can see, the LED lights are here. Obviously, it's pretty bright outside, so it's a little bit harder to see. It also has these air vents here, which are basically a nice feature here, and it allows for aerodynamics or better aerodynamics. The grille is mostly closed, as electric cars don't need as much cooling, so it doesn't need to be open. The wheels are an interesting design here. I'm going to show you how this opens. You press it and it opens like that, and if you need to plug in the DC, you have to put that down, and then the CCS connector goes in there. With roof racks, which looks like they're aluminum. I'm gonna open the door for you here. As you can see here, it's using this suede type of material, which is actually very nice. As you can see, there are 2 buttons there for the memory, the trunk opener. These buttons here are for the windows and the locking and the mirror adjustments. Inside the vehicle, as you can see, it's leather. These rubber mats are on there. They're actually very good, highly recommended for protecting the carpet in the car. The back looks like. It looks like it has plenty of room in the back. And the seats do recline, or actually close in 20-40-20. Also has this sunshade here, which you can drop. Vents look like they have a control for each side, and it also has lower down there 2 USB-C connectors and a cigarette lighter. Not sure why anymore. Backseat room is actually pretty nice. As you can see, I have probably about 6 inches between my knees, and the front seat has adjusted for me. And the seats have this mesh in the back where you can store stuff. The car also has these vents on the side pillars here, which is an interesting thing, as well as this hook where you can hook your clothes. So another hook right up the top here, where you can hook up even more stuff. This is what the back looks like with the trunk open. These are the lower parts. Obviously there's no exhaust, so there's no engine. It's an fully electric vehicle. These here are the buttons to lock and open the trunk and close it. And this is the cover for the trunk, which you can extend. And it's pretty spacious. In the back in the trunk, you have these LED lights on both sides, and you have these releases, which, as you can see, they can release the seat. This car has light projectors under each door projecting E-Tron. I'm going to put the car in drive now, and we'll be reviewing the drive of this vehicle. As you may hear, not sure if the microphone is sensitive enough, this car has a sound that it produces from I guess some speaker underneath the hood. Below a certain speed, it makes this, I guess, futuristic sound. And then, as I was mentioning in one of the previous videos, the car has an auto hold on the brakes, so once you stop, it basically puts the brakes on and you can lift your foot off the brake and it'll stay in there without moving until you accelerate. The drive works like this. This button over here, this is actually stationary, so you can hit the park button, which is on the side, and that puts it in park, or you can hold the foot on your brake, put it in reverse, which is forward, showing you the cameras, or put it in drive, or if you hit it one more time, it goes into a higher speed mode. In this extra boost mode, you can have extra power for up to 8 seconds. It's actually really interesting if you just hit it hard. I will show you that next time I get a chance here. I don't want to run red lights. Somebody is running red lights there. I had full green and they went right in front of me. The acceleration of the car is actually pretty brisk, even as you can see on the left side here, it shows you the percentage of the pedal that you're pushing. Right now it's just coasting. And there is a switch here on the left side and the right side, which basically allows you to put it in regen brake mode, or this side will take it off. So if you want to stop from far away, you can just hit this. It has 2 steps, and then the car will slow down if you have enough distance to do that. It doesn't have as strong as a regen as Teslas or BMWs have in them. That's not an option in this vehicle, but it does slow down the car, so I will show you at the next slide, hopefully. I guess not. We have greens. Oh, there you go. 1, 2. And then if you press more, it still has regen. The brakes, Audi has done a fantastic job on. You cannot tell when it switches from regen mode to regular brakes. It's just very, very smooth, and the brakes work very well. This car behaves a lot like a normal internal combustion engine car, where if you let go of the accelerator pedal, it just coasts like a normal car. So it's actually very easy to transition to this type of electric car. It's not harsh when you like lift your foot off the accelerator to actually stop, which some cars have that feature. the speedometer, I don't know if you can see well from that angle, but there is a green arrow that shows you what the speed limit is on the current road. Right now it's 40 miles per hour. Obviously that changes as you're changing where you're going. And on the left side here in this panel, you can see what the battery consumption is. So currently we are at 2.4 miles per kilowatt hour battery. This car historically will do between 2.2 on the low end if you're driving it hard, or in the winter time you're doing short trips that needs to heat up the car, to as high as 3.6 miles per kilowatt hour if you're driving it really nicely, or if the AC is off, or the heater. It is very quiet. It has dual pane windows, acoustic windows. So as you see, the radio is turned off right now, so all you could possibly hear is a little bit of wind noise from the speed. Right now we're going at 64 miles an hour. And we're going to get onto the highway, and we'll show you how it drives at high speed. If I want to slow down from further away, as you can see, I just hit this button twice, and then I can use my brakes for further regen braking. And you notice now my consumption has gone to 2.7, which is obviously better. You want a higher number there. The suspension on this car is dynamic, and right now it's in dynamic mode. If you have it in comfort mode, it's going to be a much softer suspension. But here we are in dynamic, which changes the steering angle and also the suspension, as well as the acceleration of the vehicle. This vehicle also comes with a heads-up display. The heads-up display is only visible by the driver. It kind of appears about, I'd say, 4 or 5 feet in front of the windshield. Or obviously that's a visual effect. It's really not there, but that's how it appears. And it shows you various information, such as your current speed, your the speed limit on the road you're going. If you're using the navigation system that's part of the vehicle, it shows you directions with which lane you should be in before you need to get off or turn or things like that. It also, if you have the lane assist on, it shows you the green lines, and it'll correct the car in its lane. If you engage the active cruise control, which this car has, it'll maintain the speed of the vehicle in front of you, and even to a stop point, and then restart essentially. So it's really easy to drive. As you can see, I'm really not accelerating very hard at this point. I'm at between 15 and 25%, driving at around just over 70 now. This button here is a programmable button. It has about 7 different things you can choose from. You could program it to open your garage, or there's a bunch of other options in there. But essentially, it's a programmable button that you can make it do various things. This one here is to pick up the phone or hang up. This one here is to call the assistant, which would be Hey Audi, or you can also use it if you hold it for Hey Siri if you have an iPhone. These two buttons here are essentially the skip buttons back and forth for radio stations or music or things like that, and then this here is the volume button. That's the acceleration. As you can see, it accelerates really well. The torque on electric cars is from 0, so you have an instant acceleration, unlike some older turbos that have visible lag when you're accelerating. Obviously, the harder you drive it, the more electricity is going to use, less range you're going to get. That's just the way it is. Pretty much the same with any vehicle. If you drive it hard, you're going to consume more gas or diesel or whatever your car uses. These buttons here on the left side of the steering wheel, they're changing things on your dashboard here. You can have the media source, you can have the map, as you can see here, essentially showing you a whole map in here. If you have, again, the directions put into the car navigation system, the heads-up display will also show you the directions on the heads-up display. If you're using the CarPlay, that will not show, or Android Auto. That's just the way these are designed. And we're going to come out on the exit here and pause the video for now. Start here, back onto the highway. If you change the drive select mode from here, you get a chance to do efficiency, comfort, auto, dynamic, or individual. If you put it in dynamic, it obviously stiffens the suspension on the vehicle. It accelerates much quicker. It also changes the steering angle, so it's much more responsive. Go back to the normal drive mode, you can just move this and it changes that to D. If you hit it again, it goes back into sports mode, which is essentially the dynamic mode there. Other things that I can show you here, these 3 dots here will bring up the additional air conditioning things. You could do the rear, it brings up the rear back here. You can individually adjust that. It has this fragrance one. If you hit the settings on it, you could do various fragrances like winter, summer, with different strengths. I personally like the winter one more than the summer one, fragrance-wise anyway. The other thing that it has an ionizer, which will remove bad odors from the car, which is very nice. Thanks Audi for doing that. As you can see, there are lots of cars on the road now, so it's pretty hard to push it at its limits. But the car can accelerate very fast, and it drives very smoothly. It's very quiet. side of the mirrors, you have some orange lights, which if you're passing someone or someone is in your blind spot, which we'll try to do this when we pass this car, you will see that it lights up, showing you that someone's in your blind spot. So pay attention to that side there. As you can see, it turned orange, and if you change your lanes, it flickers at you saying, hey, there's someone that's nearby you. So it's a nice feature, nice safety feature on the vehicle. This mirror is a electrochromatic mirror, so at night it dims on its own, so you don't get blinded by people's lights in the back of you. Same thing with the side mirrors, they're also electrochromatic. They will also dim as well. This car has a panoramic sunroof, which obviously I can't show you now with this camera that's mounted onto it. But it actually does open, slides about halfway, I would say. And you have LED lights here if you need them at night. There's also an SOS button here in case you need help or get, God forbid, into an accident. Other than that, I can't think of anything else to show you right now, so I'm going to stop the video. Each door has a projector under it that projects the words E-Tron onto the pavement, and each door has LED lights in the sill there that are nicely lit. At night especially you can see them. Now I'm going to actually show you how the soft electronic doors work. So if you close the door and it's not completely closed, it pulls it in. What the hood looks like. It has a small frunk here, which it stores the charger, and you can add a few other things here, but it's not a whole lot of space. This is what the LEDs look like. Warranty on this car is 4 years or 50,000 miles, whichever comes first. That's bumper to bumper. 8 years or 100,000 miles, whichever comes first on the battery. The battery pack on this car is a 95 kilowatt battery pack, of which 86.5 is actually usable. The rest is held in reserve. It has a Bang & Olufsen audio stereo system, which is really nice. On the warranty for corrosion, it has a 12-year warranty for corrosion. Other things that I can mention are the power steering is power adjustable and tilting as well. Other safety features that this car has are Audi side assist and lane departure system, and the side assist is actually turned on and off from this button over here, which is right behind the steering wheel. I'm going to talk a little bit about the specs of this vehicle. This has 355 horsepower, 402 with the extra boost, and 400 up to 490 foot-pounds of torque with the extra boost on it. The range officially from EPA is 222 miles. I've actually seen it go or at least estimate as high as 247 miles per charge from 0 to 100. I would say that in most cases, if you drive it nicely, you will probably get somewhere in the 230s most likely. Obviously depending on how you drive it and whether you have the heat on or the AC and things like that. One of the other things that I didn't mention in the previous parts were the LED matrix lights that the car comes with, which are pretty bright. They work well at night. It also has a feature where if you turn the steering wheel at night, it actually has a light that will shine in that direction, so you can actually see where you're turning, which is a very nice safety feature to have. Other things that I can mention are, let's see, the electronic stability control, or car nanny. There's a button here that you can turn on and off. The consumption on this vehicle is rated at 78 mpge. So if you were to compare this to a regular car of this size, which this car is just slightly under the size of an Audi Q8 internal combustion vehicle. So that Q8 has a combined MPG of 20 or 21 miles per gallon. This is 78, so it's about 4 times more efficient than a regular gasoline engine. And if you factor in the cost of buying premium gas for that and the cost of electricity where I live, it's most likely around 5 to 6 times cheaper to operate. But I'll let you in on a little secret. If you happen to have a solar installation of the right size, it could really cost you nothing to operate this vehicle, because you could just charge it for free at home. These cars also come with 1,000 kilowatts for free at Electrify America from Audi. 1,000 kilowatts are somewhere in the range of 2,000 to 2,500 miles, depending on your consumption and stuff like that. But that's what you get for free from Audi. I have some more specs for you. The length of this car is 193 inches long. The height is 65.5. And the weight of it is 5,754 pounds, which is just over 2.6 metric tons. So it's quite a heavy vehicle, and it'll do 0 to 60 in 5.5 seconds, which is pretty brisk for a vehicle of this size or weight. Another thing that I might have not mentioned yet is it has a wireless charger for your phone that sits right here. It has a clip, and it comes with, Audi calls it a Audi phone box and signal booster. So what that means is that if you clip your phone there, it'll charge it wirelessly, and it also boosts the signal so you get a better reception on your phone. I will also post all of these specs in the description down below on YouTube, and I will also post a link in there for my other videos that are talking about internal features here and how the MMI menu works, as well as the charging of this vehicle. So you'll get a chance if you want to take a look at those things. Thank you.